So what do you do like when you have, let's say, 3 or 4 companies being bolt on top of the existing platform? So I would imagine you have 4 different roadmaps. Like how do you then like bring it all together?
And what a mess, because you're actually saying, sorry to jump in there, but before you've got the challenge of actually integrating all of those 4 journeys and roadmaps and teams, there's also the fact that the underlying team isn't as efficient as it could be.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So we have 2 things here, right? We have the roadmap, and then you're inheriting teams that are, a high chance of not being mature teams. And so the CTO has a lot on their hands, right? Like they are inheriting a mess, to be honest. And my role is to help them take off the engineering delivery and predictability and structure off their plate so they don't have to worry about it, so they can focus on, okay, what is the vision for our product? How do we want to integrate these companies or these technologies together? What does our platform look like in the future? And so they don't have to stress about whether the teams are going to be shipping on time or what the teams are going to be shipping. And so that's sort of the difference. And I've seen every company I've worked with, the expectation is the CTO is going to handle all of that. And typically they go back to what they know, which is technology. And they want to focus on the future of the platform, but no one is really owning that. Hey, let's get these structured correctly. Let's integrate the engineering teams together. Let's make sure our backlogs are clean and ready to go.
Hey guys, we're really hoping that you're enjoying this episode so far. And if you are, please like, subscribe, and follow. And if you really want to know more about who we are and what we do, go to buildinggreattech.com. Now let's go back to the episode. And can I ask you, what happens with the 4 other CTOs when the company is merging?
Don't ask that question.
I hate to use the typical consulting answer. It depends. It's funny, we say CTOs, but some of the companies are like 30 people companies. So it's like, are they really CTOs? That's debatable in and of itself. But, it depends. It depends on whether they had an equity package, whether they are okay, whether they want to stay on, or whether they want to kind of walk into the sunset, or whether they want to join as an individual contributor. I've seen CTOs kind of take the paycheck and walk away. I've seen CTOs become lead engineers on teams. I've seen them take on management roles for like VP roles. So it really just depends on the situation.
And when you arrive to that crazy mess, like what is your role? What do you do first?
Yeah. So the first thing I do is a diagnostic. I have to try to figure out what kind of mess I'm getting into, right? Like how mature are the teams, or how immature are the teams? What is the health of the backlog? So I have my own diagnostic rubric. It's about 27 questions, and I have the lead engineers kind of fill it out to get what their assessment is. And then I'm sitting in with the teams. I'm doing interviews. I'm looking into the backlogs. I'm trying to gather some metrics and reporting. And then this usually, depending on the size of the engineering team in the company, but usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. And by the 3rd week, I'm creating an assessment and sort of a gap analysis between, hey, this is based on your thesis and what the goal of this engagement is. This is where we're at, and this is where we need to be. And then from there, I'm sitting down with engineering leadership, kind of explaining what the plan is, what's the scope of this engagement, what does success look like? And then from there, if we agree upon it, I'm embedding myself into the teams and helping them build that muscle.